I personally hate people using intrusive thought instead of impulse. Dude! Sorry to yell at you. You're a first-time chatter, so I'm really, really apologetic for this. But you really touched on something that's important to me. Guys, wanting to cut your bangs because you're feeling a little silly is not an intrusive thought. That's not what that is. Please listen. It is not an intrusive thought because you want to dye your hair. That's not an intrusive thought, baby. You're just feeling a little silly, goofy, and impulsive. I fucking hate that shit. As somebody who struggled significantly with intrusive thoughts for years, this came up recently, actually. This came up recently with Tyler, the Creator. Actually, yes, it did. Because people were talking, like, bringing up some of his old songs, right? They were bringing up his old songs, and they were talking about a particular song. So we're like, to be fair, he says a bunch of really heinous shit, you know? Like, he says a bunch of really gross, scary shit. But the concept of the song, like, the whole concept of that album, and I'm not trying to, like, excuse some of the shit that he says in I believe that's Goblin. Because I'm a huge Tyler, the Creator fan, just to be clear. I'm a huge Tyler, the Creator fan. I've listened to all of his shit. But, like, the whole concept of Goblin is him, like, talking to a therapist. That's the whole point of that album, for Tyler, the Creator, is he's talking to his therapist. And, like, the specific song that people were bringing up being like, oh, well, he's a piece of shit, he said this stuff, is he's literally talking through his intrusive thoughts with his therapist. And intrusive thoughts are terrible. And somebody, like, responded to somebody bitching about the lyrics, and they were like, oh, well, like, he's talking about having intrusive thoughts. He's not saying that he wants to do that or he did do that. He's saying that those are intrusive thoughts, right? And then the person was like, well, I've never had an intrusive thought like that. And that's because it's because you think that an intrusive thought is the same thing as, like, oh, I want to have, like, an extra marg at, like, Applebee's. And it's like, my intrusive thoughts told me that I was a criminal and that if I got a chance, I'd do something terrible, and also that I should die. So yeah, I actually believe that, like, he probably had intrusive thoughts that were that fucked up, you know? Intrusive thoughts are actually part of, like, diagnosis of, like, here, let me look it up. Identifying intrusive thoughts. Identifying intrusive thoughts. How can you tell if you're experiencing intrusive thoughts? Here's some signs to look for. The thought is unusual for you. An intrusive thought is usually very different from your typical thoughts. For example, it might be uncharacteristically violent. The thought is bothersome. If a thought is disturbing and it's something you want to push out of your mind, it might be an intrusive thought. And the thought feels hard to control. Intrusive thoughts are often repetitive and won't go away. That's what an intrusive thought is. So an intrusive thought is not like, oh my God, I'm silly, goofy, I want to cut my hair. An intrusive thought is like, what if I bash my head into my desk? What if I bash my head into the desk? What if I break my skull on my desk? What if I break my skull and spill my brains on the desk? What if I bash my head into the desk? That is what an intrusive thought is. And they're usually really fucked up. Like, we'll just be real. If you've ever had intrusive thoughts, you know what it's like. I don't want to, like, give anything super, like, specific to that. But, like, people who have intrusive thoughts are, they're very harmful. Like, intrusive thoughts are not, like, there's nothing, like, silly, funny, goofy. There's nothing normal about intrusive thoughts. Like, an intrusive thought is gonna be like, I want to bite off my finger. And then, but, like, you can't stop thinking about biting off your finger for, like, the whole day. Like, they're also very, like, they're very usually, like, and I'm saying these are, like, low levels of, like, what an intrusive thought is. A lot of times people's intrusive thoughts are, like, that they are somebody who would hurt other people. That, oh, if I got the chance, I would probably kill someone. But the thing is like, you don't want to kill someone. You don't want to do that. But, like, they're usually, like, really, really, really fucked up. They're super fucked up. They're things that you never want to share with anybody else. If you said it on Twitch, yeah, it would get you banned. Like, they're horrible, horrible, awful shit. And they're things that you would never do. They're not indicative of the person you are, things that you want to do, you know? Intrusive thoughts are not normative or anything that a normal person, like, or that you would normally think. They're insane things. They're insane. Like, the point of it's insane. And they're terrifying, and they don't go away either. Because, like, when I had intrusive thoughts, I'm not going to tell you all of them because that's, like, really trauma dumpy. But, like, I would just be like, it would be better if you were dead. You should die. You should die. Like that was just, like, all the time in my head. Having a good day, having a bad day, chilling, playing video games, just literally all of the time. My brain would just tell me that the world would be better off if I was not in it. And it was, like, loud and very violent and very shitty. And I'm saying it in, like, the nicest possible way. And it was, like, a constant droning on of what a piece of shit I was. And there was like a lot more to it too. And so like, I hate when people are like, oh my God, intrusive thoughts, I cut my bangs. Cause it's like, I'll die. I'll kill you. I hate you. I hate you for this. I hate you for this. I hate you for this. I hate you for making this sound silly because it's so not. It's also like a lot of people will have thoughts about things that they would hate, like that they would like hate themselves for. If it was punching yourself in the knife and never again, yeah, it can happen. You know, like it will happen. Like you can, it doesn't have to be all the time or for a very long time, but like intrusive thoughts are like terrifying. Intrusive thoughts, there's nothing cute about them. A lot of times it is like, it is really violent and frightening. So like, I hate when people say that. That was like a really random fucking tangent, but that's another one of those like mental health words that I don't like. They can be like really fucked up. And usually most people who have those intrusive thoughts will never act on them, but they're just in their head all the time and they can't get rid of it and it's awful. I got some, yeah, they're like, people have really violent, horrible shit. Like, it's awful. It's like smacking someone's ass. Like, yeah, like something self-destructive. Yeah, there's all kinds of things. They're also serious to address sometimes so you don't act on them. Yeah, you do have to get treatment for it. They're awful, but what can you do? Well, it's like, that's why it's like, that's that watering down, right? Because if I say like, ooh, I'm really struggling with intrusive thoughts, but all you ever hear about intrusive thoughts is people being like, oh my God, I cut my hair, ha ha ha. Like, you're gonna, like, you don't take that very seriously. Where the reality is that intrusive thoughts, if you're actually having genuine intrusive thoughts, like clinically, it's terrifying and awful and like really painful, you know? That's why it matters when we use these words like appropriately. But it's not indicative of who you are. It just is. It just sucks. Your brain is just stupid and likes to hurt you because it's dumb. And it was made to be a caveman and not have like society. Hi, Rogue. Your brain was made to be a caveman and not be in modern society, and was made to protect you from bears and lions and animals and very, very bad dangers. And so it's very good at protecting you from those things. It's very bad at protecting you from modern danger. I'm not really surprised since mental health itself has been turned into this really quirky thing. Well, it's that same thing of like, oh my God, people get so depressed they don't brush their teeth. And then somebody replies and is like, well, people get so depressed they kill themselves, Linda. You know, it's very that. Like, it's not fun. It's not like you're not depressed because you felt a little silly one day and you laid down in bed and you were a little bit sad. Like, it's not the same, you know? You're depressed. Have you tried going on a walk? Well, the thing is a lot of that shit works, but it's like fucking impossible to do when you're depressed. Everyone is there for you until you see you can combat it yet. Yeah, my favorite is somebody who's like, oh my God, I'm a mental health advocate. I want to help people with mental illness. I get it. I had depression one time. And then the second anybody starts having any kind of fucking symptoms of actually being mentally ill, they're like, wow, you're crazy. Bye. That's my favorite kind of person. They're great. You think cringe has become misused too? Nope. Your eyes have the ability to both add and subtract from the series of your conversations at the same time. I love them. I love my little ass arms. They're so silly. I like talking about this stuff, but it's so hard to talk about with any amount of nuance. Gave me some self-clarity. That's good. Poggers. I like having conversations like this. I don't know if this is worth posting. I have no clue. I like talking about it. It's interesting. It's fun. I love these kind of talks. Well, it's like, multiple things can be true at the same time. And I think that's what's so hard on social media is like, people don't want that to be the second case. They want one thing to be true so that it's easy to understand. You know? They want exactly one part of anything to be true. What is that? Girlfriend gives you vocal lessons and you shoot her to death?
So, I heard you wanted some vocal lessons from me. Well, you called the right person.
Submitted.
Not to brag or anything, but I've been singing for over 10 years now. I'm basically a professional. Oh, you want to hear some of my singing, huh? Easy. Ahem. Fly me to the moon and let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what's real. Huh? What do you mean stop? What do you mean I'm tone deaf? You're tone deaf. Wait, let me try again. Hey! Give me my mic back. Let me finish my song. Oh, give it back before I fucking shoot you. Wait, why do you have a gun? Wait, no.
Anyways, Baba Booey, penis balls, your mother.